my first comment was, how can she win this award? This is nuts. Like it's not that, of course she's a good women's basketball player, but she's not even the best women's basketball player.
Right.
I get what they're doing. There is a pushing of this women's basketball thing that's it's just is what it is.
And they won't let it go.
There's people hell bent on pushing this to the masses, and she's been the forefront of it.
To your point now, she came out after all of this. She was, announced the winner and all of that. She was basically saying, hey, I thank you for the award, but, the WNBA was built by black women, and she just went on and on about she understands her place as a white athlete in a black dominated league, and the best players are black, and I thought that was interesting because Caitlin Clark, she won this the Time Athlete of the Year award, right? And then afterwards, she came out and made some. Yeah. Now, what I wanted to do was, I wanted to find out like who else was in the running, right? Who was second place, third place, fourth place, or whatever. Couldn't find that on any article. I clicked on 1,000.
Well, it's probably not like a voted on thing. It's probably just an internal award.
So what I do have is the former winners, like whatever. So just the last few, you have LeBron James, Simone Biles in her big year, Aaron Judge won one, and Messi. Okay, those are the last few. Those are like all-time great people.
Didn't Caitlyn Jenner win though?
Maybe before these people.
When she was Bruce
maybe.
Jenner?
No.
Oh.
After the transformation.
Or it could be like a different
category. Or different publication.
Yeah, different publication.
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I remember Caitlyn Jenner getting an award, and like people were kind of miffed about it because like she's not even like a competing athlete. Like, what's going on? Like,
I remember that. But yeah, it's not. I don't think it was this publication.
Okay.
Now, my first thing about it before she came up with her comments when she first won it, my first comment was, how can she win this award? This is nuts. Like it's not that, of course she's a good women's basketball player, but she's not even the best women's basketball player.
Right.
Didn't make the playoffs and wasn't even on the U.S. Olympic team women's. Whether you agree with it or not, like those are things that those are just facts. Okay. And then, like, of the year, that means if you're adding, like, if a guy like LeBron James won it, Messi won it, like, where is Mahomes? Where is, whatever, like, these other sports. Whatever, even Wemby for that matter, but whatever. Who won the NBA championship? I guess you wouldn't put Tatum there, but but whatever.
Just not Jason Tatum.
Anybody but Jason. But you get what I'm saying? That's my first initial thought.
Yeah.
Before we get to her comments. Yeah. Is that what you? You get what they're doing.
I get what they're doing. There is a pushing of this women's basketball thing that's it's just is what it is.
And they won't let it go.
There's people hell bent on pushing this to the masses, and she's been the forefront of it. Now, I mean, in truth, you could look at maybe Mahomes like pulling off the double. Back-to-back Super Bowls and what have you. Other than that, like NBA-wise, Jason Tatum doesn't really inspire that sort of
What about your soccer guy? Did he have a big
Mbappe? No, like in the last 12 months, like he hasn't. They lost Champions League. They didn't win the Euro. So
what has she won?
No. I mean, I get it, but I mean, I guess in the traditional metrics to achieve this award, you're talking about like that standout performance, winning whatever the highest level is in your sport. And so, like, in a way, and the argument I'm kind of making, potentially other than Mahomes, nobody's done that. Mm-hmm. Like, nobody's had that type of year.
There wasn't a standout.
Maybe Ohtani.
Okay.
In baseball. Yeah. Maybe is in that. Because, again, Jason Tatum and the Celtics win the NBA. Nobody had an, unbelievable individual season.
Right.
Soccer-wise, nobody did that. Like, maybe Mahomes, maybe Ohtani, but it just really wasn't that. Even in the Olympics, we didn't have, like, a Michael Phelps or Usain Bolt level performance out of the games that just was hands down.
Sha'Carri Richards.
She fucking got 8 up in the 100 meters.
She did make the playoffs. I'll correct that, Chris. You're correct.
No, but I mean, Sha'Carri is annoying to me.
Okay, so
Because people keep pushing. Because people keep pushing her.
Well, that's how I feel about Caitlin Clark.
We can agree. Yeah.
I just don't understand, why would she, of all the players, was that Asia Richardson?
Yeah. Asia Wilson is the best player in women's basketball.
I mean, why wouldn't she
now,
get it
now
if that's what they're looking for?
To your point, now she came out after all of this. She was announced the winner and all of that. She was basically saying, hey, I thank you for the award, but the WNBA was built by black women, and she just went on and on about she understands her place as a white athlete in a black dominated league, and the best players are black, and I thought that was interesting because this is her first time really addressing that.
Right.
That I'm aware of. Yeah.
When there's been like constantly that type of narrative.
Right.
What do you think about the comments and the timing of it? Because
I'll credit the timing, and like looking at this favorably, I'll credit the timing with kind of a level of maturation in recognizing kind of where she stands in this, and kind of how she might feel about this. And if you look at the context of like the women's basketball, like it was weird because like literally you go through your March Madness run, then you're like drafted a week or two later, and then you're right in the there was no off season for anybody to process anything, and particularly her. And I mean, again, there was a media swarm around her. I get all that. I mean, but I'll say, maybe getting to the off season, kind of getting a little perspective on, your performance, the context of the league, and kind of everything that's going on around you. I'll give her credit and say maybe this is kind of the result of kind of having a little perspective and maturing a bit to understand where she stands in all this.
I agree with that. I think I didn't read her comments, but if she did address that, I think that was about time, because I personally am not a big fan, but I feel like a lot of other people that, she came in, yes, she did all this other stuff, but there were so many other players before that got absolutely no recognition for even keeping that league alive, which, I mean, it really is
no
some
small
of the worst
accomplishment.
basketball. I'm like not a big, big fan of it.
And it's not her fault. It's not her fault that millions of people like her,
right,
and like to see her play for I don't know, a reason I can't really understand, but it's not for me to understand. They like to see her play, then they see her play, But and for first of all, it's more of a. I'm not the biggest fan of women's basketball, period. But there are a couple of players and teams I do like to watch. Asia Wilson being one, and then Juju in college now. But that's not saying a lot.
I really like Ellie the Elephant. Like, she is so entertaining.
See, I don't even know who that is.
The Liberty, whatever.
Okay.
Their mascot. Like,
the mascot?
Yes.
Pink, what are we doing here?
I'm not a part of this.
She's fabulous.
I'm not
I
co-signing
thought
this.
you were talking about a player. I was like, oh man, feel bad not knowing this player.
You were set up. You bought it.
Yeah, I bought it. Once again, you guys are on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. Let's move to the NBA here before we get to this football stuff. It's quite a bit of football here. But you have some trade rumors here for the second year in a row, maybe third or fourth. Golden State Warriors are contacting the Lakers about LeBron.
Wow.
to get LeBron over there. And then also Jimmy Butler.
LeBron and Bronny? Or just
That's the thing, right?
I've heard that any trade would involve Bronny too.
wow.
Yeah.
Because you can't leave him behind. He's useless.
Yeah, I heard the last game. I didn't see the last game, but I heard the last game was so bad.
They've been getting their behinds kicked. The Lakers, they've been getting their rear ends handed to them. They're a good offensive team. Defensively, they're towards the bottom of the league. So, but they're not. The Lakers are not looking to move LeBron. These things here are mostly about the Golden State Warriors trying to improve their team, and they're looking at Jimmy Butler, LeBron, and a couple of other guys. And again, I just think they're another organization, similar to the ones I like, 76ers. You're looking at these old guys. It's just not the answer.
Yeah.
That's ultimately that's my take on it. That's just not the answer. Yeah, LeBron
Yeah.
is one of the best players all time. Whether you want to say he's the best or second, third, fourth, fifth, he's just old now. How is LeBron? What you have to give up to even get him? It's just not even nothing. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not worth the headache. And then you have to bring Bronny along. He's just now accepted to go on the road on his G League team like a month after all of the talk.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll have armed security with him at every game. Who knows? And it's just too much, man. And then Jimmy Butler, man, he's an interesting guy because he's a little up there.
Yeah.
But he'll still have a performance here and there.
Well,
but just not a guy I would want to invest in at this point.
Right, but the issue is he for every good performance he has, he's sitting out a night with some sort of ache or pain or ailment, and he's just not a reliable star at this point.
Yeah.
Worse off than LeBron by a good margin as far as even reliability.
That's what I was saying.
Night to night. So I got to admit I'm a little intrigued by a LeBron move. If I'm the Warriors and the opportunity presents, I would roll the dice and go for it. Because you're operating on Steph's timeline. And until you get rid of Steph, you're just operating on can we do anything to compete while we still have Steph.
I agree if you can just pick LeBron up off the street. But if you have to give anything of significance for him, it's just not worth it.
But here's, the construction of the current Golden State team, and they're doing okay. They're not doing great.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically Steph, Draymond, and everything else is for sale for the right buyer. There's no other foundational piece in that organization. There's nothing else you need to hold on to.
So you're thinking LeBron's going to come and or they're going to just start building a team around LeBron, and
it's not so
the
much
other
building a team around LeBron. Like the idea, Steph is and Draymond are like the kitchen sink. You're going to throw in anything but the kitchen sink. And so they could literally make any sort of permutation of deal if it could get them LeBron from the rest of the roster and then figure the rest out later. I mean, to me,
so
if you could do
other
it, makes
people
sense.
would want to come and play with LeBron?
It's just this year. You're cobbling. You got those three guys, and then whatever's left on the roster, and you'll certainly get a couple of,
buyout
guys or whatever that'll just go along for the ride.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. I buy that.
And again, all it is a play to do something this year, maybe next. That's it.
And then that's it.
And then you're back to square one. But that's what they're attached to Steph right now. They're gonna ride or die with him, and you might as well just do what you can. Put it all in and see if you can do something.
Yeah, I disagree, but it's not the craziest thing in the world.
Yeah,
it's not the craziest thing.
No, that's all I'm saying. I can see that from their view of doing it.
And with Andrew Wiggins there on the roster, you can make anything work because he makes so much money, and he's relatively young. He's just not an attractive name.
Yeah,
but whatever, right around 30, and makes a lot of money, so you can put him in any deal to make anything work.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Now Jimmy Butler and his agent are going on Jimmy Butler's agent is going on a rampage on Twitter against Shams, because a lot of these reports he's saying are fake and Shams, you're just putting out stuff and saying you talk to me and this and that. Yeah, I feel like that happens from time to time, right? Because when trade rumors go out, Jimmy Butler is because what happened is he said Jimmy Butler is okay with going to Golden State, Phoenix Suns, Dallas, and it was one other team, right?
Utah?
That's the report.
Not Utah.
I'm sure it wasn't Utah. Nobody wants to go to Utah.
No.
And then of course, Shams said per his agent, and his agent like, I never said anything like this. Where are you getting this from?
Yeah.
I feel like that's. I feel like a lot of that happens more times than not.
I would imagine so. I think it's like a fine balance, though, because if you're a guy like Shams, you can't burn people consistently, or your information's going to dry up for you.
Yeah,
and you'll basically lose the position you have. I mean, he's kind of the new Woj, and it's like you have to. In my mind, you got to conduct yourself with a certain code to be able to stay in that spot without undermining yourself and losing credibility.